Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Weekly Spark. I do things a little differently in the summer. I tend to have a fan running in the studio, and so this is me after the fact, sitting at the editing desk, giving you a little bit of information about what happened on this spread. Now, you may have seen last week where I did the side on the right with the found image of the stag, which was technically an elk, but I ran with it, and the sun, and that referenced a Greek myth. So I started using these autumnal colors, not necessarily what I would pick if I were thinking trees, but I'd pulled the papers out, and I liked how they played really well with the watercolors in the sun. So doing this collage layer, my plan is to do 2 image transfers of small deer from a folder of Xeroxes that I had, extras from a previous project. But I wanted to try out this new stencil. So I ordered this from just a nameless online entity, and it's a really large Tree of Life stencil. I think probably more destined for home decor, for doing signs or trays or even the wall. But it works. I can't fit the whole thing on the spread, but I'm fitting some roots and some of the crown of tree leaves, and I'm liking it. So it was my first time using it. I wanted to see how it played out and just, mess around with it a little bit. I mean, I love the stencil and I love the border, the round border. And I don't mind that it was cut off the page, but now it feels really dark with all of the warm tones in the background and then the green leaves. So I want to break up that warm color in the background. Spraying, splattering, the paper plate was just the right mask to keep things just in the leafy portion of the tree. I'm just experimenting. I don't really have a plan. The deer at the base of the tree does give a nod to the Norse myth of the stags that lived at the base of Yggdrasil, the world tree. So I'm going to run with that. So there's a little bit of a gap in the video, and I apologize for that. We actually had a little power outage, and obviously my phone was running on battery, but then the dog was barking, and all user error, my fault. So when the last video ended, I had just done the transfers of the 2 deer figures under the tree. And so as you can see, I took a brown marker and I went in to kind of echo the stencil lines. I've gone around the deers in gold, and I've gone around the leaves in silver. And these are the Uniball Signo gel pens that I really, really like. I did the gold on the deers first, having put a little white in the background to lighten them up, to make them pop. And then I decided that I would do the silver on the leaves as well. Silver and green leaves definitely makes me feel like a Tolkien reference, you know, the brooches that the elves gave the hobbits to clasp their cloaks, that silver leaf of Lorien. So that was playing in my mind as I was working. I like how the 2 pages go together. Although, you know, in some ways this is such a big motif that it overpowers, but the circular here and the circular here, although they're different scales, I like how they relate to each other, with the branches of the tree and the bare branches and the antlers kind of carrying some visuals through. So over the course of 2 weeks, a large spread with 2 different ways of incorporating deer, referencing that myth of the Greek maiden who boasted and challenged Helios and was turned into a deer, the stag with the sun that was so fast, but then also the deer at the base of the Norse Yggdrasil, the world tree. So those were kind of loose inspirations in this spread. But I hope that you come back next week and the week after. There are 2 more weeks where I'll be doing different pages, maybe a spread, maybe a page each, focusing on this motif and working with the deer and the stag for the month of July. So, sorry for the video snafu, but I do hope that you want to subscribe or click the like button and give this video a thumbs up. Come back next week, leave me a comment, all the YouTube things. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.